second mic for. Yep. You know what? I will just rest it on. Do we want to start the commentary after this inning ends? Or at the half inning? Good mid-morning. Hello, everybody. We are currently mid-game. Redcliffe versus Toowoomba. This is the Queensland softball national. I wanted to say nationals just because it sounds good, but it is the championship. We are currently in a round one Div 2 match, top of the second inning, bases loaded, 2 outs. High pressure situation as that ball is going to bounce foul. Currently at the plate right now, I believe it is Shane O'Connor for the Redcliffe side. And joining me, how about you introduce yourself, because I'm terrible with names.
Okay. My name's Darren Cyber. I'm the tournament chief umpire.
Yeah, and just kind of asking you to have you on the start. We've been watching this game so far. It's kind of a hot drop straight into a pretty pivotal moment right now. Toowoomba up by 3, a chance to really equalize things. Do we know anything about Shane O'Connor?
No, not really. He's a local prodigy. So the thing is that they really need to get back on track here, because with Toowoomba being 3-0, Redcliffe have loaded bases, so it's an opportunity for them to score some runs.
I actually want to apologize. This is actually Lincoln Barrett up to the plate. So this is the leadoff batter. He grounded out to second base last time he was up back in the first inning, but since then, a little bit of a rally kind of building, as that is going to be not ball 4. A little bit of confusion right there.
not able to count.
Would have been a pretty critical walk, but we'll see how we go.
Wishful thinking, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it really feels like a bit of a breaking point. Redcliffe should be able, they would love to convert some of these points right now. It's been a bit of a struggle ending for Toowoomba. A couple errors kind of put them in this situation, as that one's going to be popped foul just out of the field. And you can even watch, a couple of the fielders chasing after that one, keen to get this final out, kind of save the inning. What have been some of your thoughts, though, from the first, I suppose, inning and a half that we've seen?
Look, I think it's a pretty standard game. I think the players are playing themselves into it. There's been a couple of errors, and they were hard hit balls. But the thing is that at this standard in a state championship, you'd expect them to make the plays. But other than that, it's been pretty even, I think, between the two teams.
Well, that is going to do it. Well done by Michael Finks right there, getting the pretty key strikeout, 4th one of the game. And we were talking a bit before about this pitcher on the Toowoomba side. He's definitely kind of one of those players to keep our eyes on.
Yeah, he's come through the under-18s ranks into the state team and played at national, so he's able to throw a bit of movement around there, and to tie them down with loaded bases was a good effort.
Yeah, very good effort, and kind of, probably what people in the higher divisions would be looking to hear about. I don't know how many scouts necessarily are there for this game this early in the day, but got to pass on the notes, the scorecard after that, I would imagine.
Yeah, they'd be looking at statistics and seeing what he's able to do, and focusing on that. But there's a few of the selectors around, so that they'll keep their eye on him for a potential under-23 spot.
So as we shift over to the bottom of the second, it actually is going to be Finks up first, I believe, with Joshua Maddock, and then Daniel Box following after. Returning to the mound will be Aaron Dorks. Aaron had a bit of a rough first inning, gave up a couple walks, and then the big 3-1 shot straight down through center field, one of those no-doubters when it came off the bat. Bouncing back going into this second inning, especially being so close to putting on points before, I feel if you're Redcliffe, maybe it's a little too early to start getting nervous, but definitely can't afford to have another inning like that.
No. I think that he struggled to find his rhythm, but it started to come better at the end of the last, and he certainly can't afford to leak any more runs before they start their recovery.
Yeah, as we do see, it will be Finks up first to the plate and going at the bottom of the lineup. One would think this would be a good chance for a recovery inning. Get themselves back on the winning ways, one would hope. Still looking for his first strikeout as well, for what it's worth. Granted, don't really know. I can't say if he's a strikeout pitcher or not. I mean, what sort of pitches would we be looking at from
No, I
these?
was just going to say he's trying to, he's mixing it up a little bit, but I don't think he's got the same sort of range that Michael has. But he'll just keep it honest.
Well, that's going to be a ground ball to second place, scooped up quite handily. And that will be the first out on that one. Good, a little bit of fielding right there for number 14. I believe that is Lincoln Barreled. I keep wanting to call him Shane O'Connor, who is 19, and that's just my poor handwriting. Makeshift notes being done, scorekeeping.
Oh, no, this side, the batting team.
Yeah, that was talking about taking base. Yeah. As quick hit right there, another fly ball. This one will be collected by the shortstop. Quick grab right there for Mitchell Hathaway. And yeah, look, I know you're probably used to like big official scorekeeping things, and unfortunately you kind of have my chicken scratch notes right here. Not.
Oh, it's effective. Don't worry. As long as you know who's up next.
Yeah, exactly. Doing the best with what we have. Daniel Box actually should be coming to the plate right now, and so far this is pretty much exactly what Aaron would be looking for. A couple, squibbly hits to the infield, and
if you can go 3 up, 3 down, it gets them back out in the batting really quickly.
yeah, quick inning, obviously a good inning here as we gear up for our second pitch. That one gonna be called a strike. That would have just caught the lower corner of the zone, I would imagine.
Oh, the batters have to adjust, and as I said, the thing is that we're not in the ideal position, as I said, because of the lefty.
Actually, the first lefty we've seen bat by the looks of things is the second strike. It's not too many lefties in this game. It's been very righty dominant.
Yep. You find in the Queensland Cup, which is our top division, there's a few more lefties, and it's because they.
Oh, that one's going to come off the glove a bit unfortunate right there. Sam Linus had a chance for the grab, but wound up getting away from him. So I believe that would be an error and a single. Very, very nice little hit from Daniel Block. That would be an error, correct, in that situation?
I'd probably go, we often call them hot positions, first and third. So that one, because it's a lot closer than baseball, if it's a drilled ball like that, probably the ball to get a glove on it. And as I said, it'd probably just go down as a single.
Okay. So we'll be nice in that situation. Third base is a scary position. My limited baseball experience, that was kind of where I started, and didn't go too well. As errant throw to second base will allow the run to advance, so it's steal.
See if they want to check this swing.
Keep our eyes on that. And either way, the result still appears to be the same, so a stolen base for Daniel Box, and they'll rule that a strike at the plate.
No ball.
Oh, that was a ball. I thought I saw it.
Yeah, he did check and he said no.
All right. So 2 balls, no strikes. Good position to be with a runner in scoring position. However, that one will be popped up and almost landing on us, actually, up and behind. So still a good hitter's count at 2-1. We'll see what can happen here. It is number 28 currently at the plate. That is Wade Codd, one of the 2 Codd brothers, which started up the lineup for Toowoomba. He actually walked to open up his day. Now a chance to get a RBI as that ball will get away from the catcher, and another steal for Daniel Box as he makes his way over to third. So this situation right now, 2 outs, can't really go for the sacrifice bunt. Gonna have to swing on this. I imagine if you're pitching, you can really kind of, test the range right now, not give anything hittable.
Yeah. No, he didn't want to throw a fat one there because he probably would have planted it somewhere. And
so that'll be a good look for Wade Codd. Second walk of the game, so doing his job getting on base. That will bring up Lewis Codd, brother of Wade. And again, last time went for the sacrifice bunt. Can't really do that this time around. So we'll see a swing early, popped up, going out to left field and over the fence. So it will be a foul ball, strike 1. As everyone makes their way back out there. I mean, it's always kind of cool when you see brothers, I guess, at these local levels right now, and especially when they're batting 1-2 as well. Like, I feel that synergy that it's tough to replicate. As we get another foul ball, having a peek, it's almost hitting our camera actually. Over to the side. How many brother duos do we see in leagues like this?
Oh, there's quite a few. As I said, there's two here. We've got the Cronks playing for Redlands.
The Cronks.
Yeah,
That's a beautiful name.
Marshall's an international player. He's got himself into there, and Danny's his brother.
Ground ball to third. It's going to get bobbled. Race to the plate, and he is safe. That will bring in a run. The other advances to third. Good bit of base running right there. The speed from Lewis Codd gets him across, and that will make it a 4-0 game now for Toowoomba.
Yeah, this game could get away with them if they, as I said, 2 out. There's an opportunity to close the innings out, and then they've got runners in scoring positions again.
So
I don't think you'll leave base early this time. His brother might kill him at third base.
yeah, exactly. There was a little bit of a oops moment before. Reason why it's a 4-0 lead as opposed to a 5-0 one, as it is going to be Ethan Robertson, the designated hitter, now up to bat and going for the steal as he will take second base. Strike one. So as we're kind of playing through this right now, obviously this is the start of a long weekend, and with a lot of games being played, are there any sort of changes to the format for some of these games compared to what we would normally see in league play?
Yeah. Well, in the top division Queensland Cup, they play a single round robin, and then we have a 2v3 preliminary and a grand final, which is a winner of the 2-3 versus 1. But in this competition, which we call our Open Championship, there's 11 teams, so they're split into 2 pools of 6 and 5. So when they've played a single round robin in those pools, the top 6 teams will play off in a double elimination semi-final series, and the bottom 5 will just play amongst themselves in positional games.
So everyone's getting a lot of games in then.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's what you want, I suppose. I mean, that said too. And what did it take for these teams to kind of qualify for this? Was it an open? Did they have to qualify through leagues or?
No, just nominate from the district association and have the required number of players. And yeah. Obviously, there's a bit of cost involved, so they don't send away a team just for the sake of sending away a team. They like to think they're going to be competitive and play. So this is probably our biggest turnout for the men's tournament for a number of years.
Yeah, it definitely was a large one. Ground ball straight up the middle. That's going to bring in another 2 points. So good positional hitting from Ethan.
You play baseball, they're called runs, right?
Yeah.
Not points.
Look, my background is I've been.
You're going to say basketball, do you?
No, actually, I've been doing some Rocket League, so I should have been saying goals if I was going to call it incorrectly. But yes, 2 runs will come across. So Toowoomba just extending that lead with a nice 2-run shot down the middle. Again, just good positional hitting right there.
Yeah.
So we see Thomas Howard, I should say, coming up right now. Did get a single before, so would love another one here. But real, it's a good little rally happening.
What's that blown out to, 6 or 7 now?
6.
6.
Yeah, there's no mercy rule in this, is there?
Yeah, there is.
Oh, there is.
Yep. So 7, if a team's 7 ahead after 5 innings, or 10 ahead after 4, or 15 ahead after 3. So they're getting into dangerous territory, particularly as we advance through the game.
I mean, we're only in the second inning, 6 so far, so that I guess could be within the realm of possibility. And this inning started off so good for Dorix as well. It was the 2 quick outs. Looked like it was going to be a quick trip to the mound, and now all of a sudden 2-out base hitting. Toowoomba coming right back at it, as that one will be thrown foul. Opportunity to end this inning here for Dorix, as everyone settles a bit. Who are some of the favorites, I suppose, in this event? Like, what clubs tend to perform well?
Look, the top division, it's hard to go past Redlands. They've always been perennial favourites, so they've got the calibre of the battery. But you've got any of those teams on their day, particularly if they've all got depth in their batting, so they've all got the potential to go out there and score lots of runs. So we know from the game it only takes a couple of errors or a bit of a streak with the bats, and it can change the dynamics pretty quickly. This is wide open. This division, it just depends on who turns up, who's got the pitcher in the place at the right time, and where the bats work.
Well, that ground out as well will do it for the second inning. Again, it was Lincoln who was able to just routine play. So heading back out to the mound, Michael Fink still staying with it. Redcliffe will be coming up to bat. It looks like we'll be getting Dylan Holmes, Mitchell Hathaway, and then Aaron Dorks himself coming into the
This
plate.
is 6 ahead after 2 complete. So yeah, as I said, Toowoomba would be looking to close this out pretty quickly and get back in with the bats. And
Yeah, they would love to try to get to that
yeah.
mercy rule, I imagine. Again, quick game, good game potentially.
Oh, it's cooled over a little bit now, but with the heat out there before, yeah, then they don't want to be out there in the field any longer than they have to be.
And especially with as many teams and as many games as you were talking about before, I was kind of wondering, and I had a little bit of a chat actually to one of the coaches on that Redcliffe side when it comes to sort of pitch count and how long they want to be going out there. And I'm kind of looking at Toowoomba as a whole, and if, Michael Finks is going to be their main pitcher, you don't really want to burn him out early in the tournament.
Yeah, he's been pretty conservative in this game so far. I mean, you'd think that probably around the 80 to 100 pitches here, particularly if it's hot, they start to look at having somebody come in to relieve him in the second half of the game. But as I said, he's been pretty conservative at the moment, and he hasn't had to have long stints out there at the plate. I'd imagine that Redcliffe might be looking to make a change, and if not the next innings, the one after.
Yeah, we'll see how they look as we get.
Unless, of course, they go, you know what, let's concede this game because they're behind, but they probably, if they got another game straight away, they'll probably get a person in there to warm up in the last innings or something.
I actually believe it's Toowoomba who we're getting another game. So it's Toowoomba who kind of has the doubleheader right now. So there will be a little bit of a break after the game, but then they'll be right back out.
So a run ahead would help them out a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go, though, as it is Dylan Holmes stepping to the plate. Again, struck out at his first at-bat, so which was not an uncommon occurrence already for Michael Finks. Again, finding 4 out of the 6 outs through his arm, and would hope to continue that trend here.
Yep.
Here it up. Second pitch is going to be low and inside for a ball, and he really seems to be. I mean, you said before, like, the range difference between the two pitchers right now. Like, Finks definitely, he has the confidence to really go for those corners, it looks like.
Yep, and look, if he's got confidence in his catcher, he'll work the zone. Not going, he's behind in this one here, but you'd imagine he'll come back in this at bat. As a youngster, there'd be nothing for him to 3-4 games in a row. So he's got some resilience and stability. Yeah, he could picture this one out for sure.
And I like the fact that you still have the confidence in the catcher despite the error that happened before. I mean, it's something that you, build to need to have. That said, not the ideal start. Second walk of the game right there. So a good at-bat for Dylan Holmes. Gets a runner on board, and that brings up Mitchell Hathaway, who did have a single last time up. So maybe Redcliffe could be hinting at something here. So they get geared up.
It's got to start somewhere, and as I said, to get your lead off on, at least you put yourself in a position to score some runs.
Yeah, lead off on hard of the lineup right now as well, so this could be the best chance for Redcliffe to get themselves geared up, maybe for a third inning rally. Of course, first pitch, again, still wide, so not entirely what I believe Finks would have been looking for. Just to get reared up. That one's going to be high as well. So let's talk us through a little bit of the atmosphere here. Well,
as I said, it's still a Friday, so we'll generally find it'll be a lot more spectators on Saturday, Sunday. But yeah, the main people up here are probably a few family and friends, and the night games tonight. I know that Toowoomba are playing the night game, so they'll generate a lot of their local crowd here for that. But as I said, the boys will become more passionate as the tournament proceeds, and they have to win games that they can't afford to lose. And
yeah, how is the locals definitely will come out to support then?
Yeah. No, they'll have the local competition up here is quite strong, so they'll get out here and with the catering vans and everything here, it sort of creates a bit of an atmosphere, and the lights here are sensational. So. They'll be out here to watch the night games. They'll probably start rocking up from 4 o'clock as soon as work finishes. And
kind of hope that we'd be out here. Unfortunately, this broadcast was only going to be covering 2 games this afternoon, so we have this one and the one following it. But sounds like a fun time.
Yeah, yeah.
Realistically, getting out, and I imagine come finals as well, it gets.
Oh no, it's very
up.
interesting when it gets to the finals because the best of the best come out, and they've paid a lot of these players to travel from interstate as well in the main division. So
And then I imagine too, all the knocked out teams are going to be sticking around, watching,
yeah.
see where it goes, and
Yeah, yeah.
good vibes to be had. And well, Redcliffe right now, not really the start of their campaign they were hoping for. So we'll see what they can get mustered here. Good at bat so far from Mitchell Hathaway. Actually, really running up that pitch count so far. As they're going to let that one go, and that's going to be called a strike 3. So a little caster curse right there sends him off.
He was tempted to swing at it and then change his mind. I think he probably should have gone on with it, but yeah, strike 3. It's not a good one to leave.
Ideal. So the first out right there with the runner on. Up next, though, is going to be Aaron Dorux, who's can change your fortune maybe with the bat after that last inning, as first pitch is low and the runner will advance to second. Good heads up running from Dylan Holmes. It's been a couple of those balls in the dirt, it feels like, from both sides right now. Both catchers kind of having a rough day.
Yeah, that's it. I think they're losing their way a little bit on a couple of those pitches, whether they're trying a little bit extra to do with the ball, just losing a bit of control.
But yeah, for Aaron Dorks again, kind of speculation, might not see him on the mound again, so would love to have a little bit of an impact with the bat, get himself back in the game. Do you think, the confidence would carry over? Get a good hit, and you're like, you know what, yeah, I can still.
Oh, it's a bit like most sports, a little bit of momentum change. It just takes often one hit or one spectacular play, and then the fortunes start to swing. And as I said, if he gets a hit here, puts a bit of doubt in the pitcher's mind, and it hasn't been as easy an innings as the last couple. And
with the runner in scoring position as well, I think it would do good. I mean, last time he did ground out to second base, so looking for a bit of a better appearance right there. As having a little discussion on the mound right now, I think a lot of those low pitches raising a bit of concern.
And they're not getting gold strikes, so there's no point in throwing them down there.
Yeah, so we'll see where we go from here again. For Dorks, this would be a prime moment to get his momentum back. See what the approach is after the meeting. It's going to be a fast shot. Ball gets fouled away. What sort of speeds are we looking at?
Oh, he'd be thrown into his 110, 115, so that's kilometres an hour, and so certainly moved it along pretty well.
So the reaction time for that is insane.
The plate's 43 feet away. By the time he releases, it's about another 5 feet closer. So
well, that's going to be a chipper again. Caught by first base will be the out there. Runner advancing to third. So that's going to be the second.
No,
that is the
first baseman. Put out 3.
Yeah, put out 3, and a lot of motion happening right now. Did we lose track of? No, it's going to be okay. Pinch runner. So Aaron's actually going to move over to third.
That's interesting.
Okay.
You're allowed to put any runner on, and you think you put the fastest runner on.
You would think. It also can't help but notice starting to warm up a new pitcher as well, and that's actually going to be, I believe, Mitchell Hathaway warming up to pitch. So.
And that's why he'd be going out there, because if he was coming on the pitch again, he wouldn't be going out there to run.
Exactly, so they're just going to run him down, fair enough. At the plate right now is Joseph Ryan. Last time was able to hit a single, and a single here would finally get Redcliffe on the board. So bullpen warming up. Can't say I'm too surprised to see the pitching swap going into the top of the third, just how this game has been playing out. However, still, Redcliffe needs the bats to connect. They need the points. As we'll see what Brian Joseph can do. The center fielder had to watch one sail over his head before the 3-1 shot. Would love to get one himself. Another called strike. So there we go. Runner on third. So we'll see what he can bring. And that one called ball. Was that high? Yeah, fair enough. So high ball right there. See what Brian Joseph can do again. Following Brian Joseph will be English Tony as well, warming up in the box. As that one, pitch kind of was a riser right there. Bit of defensive hitting right there from Brian. Got just underneath it, keeps the at-bat alive. Again, seen a few different pitch types actually coming out of Pfingst into this one, and Riser not able to catch him off.
I think it's going to be a decisive point, though. If he gets out of here without conceding a run, I think that sort of might rattle Toowoomba a bit.
Oh, he is going to concede.
Sorry.
Yeah, is going to give up the walk. However, pitch was high. Good eye from Joseph Bryan. So that will bring up Tony English, who might have the best name, I think, out there. Of course, the left fielder, Tony English, struck out last time. Can't afford that again. Apologies, the right fielder. We'll see what he can bring out. It was a pretty untimely strikeout as well before. Ooh, high pitch, gets away from the catcher, and that will be a play on the plate. Sliding through, though, Aaron Dorux is safe, and Redcliffe finally get themselves on the board.
Yep, I got away from the catcher, and it's just so the runner come on from third, and the runner from first advance, so that was a heady one.
And again, it's just more of these sort of awkward pitches that we've seen kind of hit the dirt a bit and happening again. I mean, obviously, Div 2, so you kind of do expect maybe more fielding errors like that.
Oh, yeah, but I'd think that they'd have enough professionalism there to be disappointed about those errors.
Yeah, I would imagine so, especially when you're conceding runs. And again, I mean, for Pfingst, I mean, he's still having a good game, but you would have loved to have 3 shutout innings to start off. Like, it'd be a great way to begin the weekend campaign. Either way, you can't be too disappointed with the pitching, although that one's going to be called high. Which got a little bit of a rise out of the dugouts. So, I mean, Redcliffe knows how important this at-bat is early in this game.
Number 2 realise that they need to get this batter out. They don't need them and have them other opportunities.
So, defensive swing right there. Will chip it foul.
Fouled off the bat, yep.
Seeing a few, again, it's been 2 out hitting, actually. It's kind of been both sides where a lot of the rallies have been starting already in this game.
Runs have come from, isn't it? Really, not 2 down.
So, again, further emphasis how important every out is in, all bat and ball sports, I suppose. That's just going to be a short little grounder to second place. Pretty routine, so a bit unfortunate for Tony English there. That will end the inning. Redcliffe get 1 off the error, and Toowoomba will head back to the plate, protecting their 5-run lead. It's going to be Callan Gordon, Cody Lutheran, and then Michael Pfingst himself. So, good spot for Toowoomba to be in right now.
Where are we in the order?
We are going to, I believe, 5th in the order.
Yeah, okay, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Okay. Middle of the order, it's an opportunity to score some more runs.
Yeah, opening up with Callan Gordon as well, who hit our 3-run shot back in the first inning, straight down the middle. We'll be seeing the new pitcher, however, coming out. So I do believe it was Mitchell Hathaway stepping in to pitch based on the warm-up we saw before. And we'll see how he goes.
Look like the previous pitchers heading out towards the plate.
No, it is Mitchell. He could tell with those really nice-looking sunglasses, actually. Very, very stylish shades. And again, I imagine sunscreen, shades, hats. I mean, it's going to be a warm weekend, so don't want to get burned on day one, obviously. Coming into pitch, 5 runs down. It's sort of an awkward spot to be in because obviously you don't want to concede anymore, but it also feels...
Well, you've got nothing to lose, I don't
exactly.
think. As I said, I think if you come out and do your job and then just hope that the bats can chip away.
Yeah, that is what we're going to be looking at. Of course, as this happened, I believe we're seeing Aaron Dorux actually moving to the infield. Looks like he'll be actually going to shortstop now. So just a straight-up position swap between the 2. So there you go. How common is that where, a pitcher after doing an opening stint will stay not still fielding, but like in a pretty
I
key
guess it
position
depends
as
on the
well.
flexibility of the player and whether they've got those skills there to occupy that other position. But it might be just preserving some of the bench too because they've got a lot of games to get through. Um, not all people can play in multiple positions, but having a shortstop that can pitch and can do that swap makes it pretty easy.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm a bit too baseball brained on this one, but I'm just not used to seeing pitchers move over to the shortstop.
From the bullpen or something like that.
Yeah, no, well, again, normally if they're going to field anywhere, my experience has always been putting them on first base, right? You sort of.
We've had pitchers that play outfield and all around the diamond. The younger divisions, even the pitchers catch. So,
That to me is insane. Of course, anybody who catches, I feel like, is insane. You have to have a special mindset, I feel like, to be a catcher.
They're my best mates as an umpire. If you get a catcher there, you don't want to get them offside.
No. Go. Again, big at bat right now for the shortstop, Callan Gordon. Unfortunately, it was a quick at bat as well, so he is going to be.
He started on fire as a new pitcher. So he spots pretty well.
So one quick out, a strikeout as well. And I mean, look, Callan Gordon, at the end of the day, strikeout frustrating, but still has that 3-1 shot to fall back on. So still a good day at the plate. Up next, though, is going to be Cody Lutherand, who last time did ground out to shortstop. The second baseman, looking for a change of fortune, but I don't know. If this is going to be the start of another 2-out rally for the fourth time this game, I feel like coaching side, just get the mentality, play every out like it's 2 outs right now, because that seems to be where these bats are lining up.
Well, you don't go there and concede your first 2 outs just so that you can get a rally going. That's not the ideal thing to do.
If it works, it works. I mean, no, you just got to trick them into thinking it's 2 outs already. There we go. Ground ball caught by the second baseman, but the speed is there, and throw actually gets away, but that's all right. Single still found. So for Cody Lutherand, very, very fast player.
It's an interesting thought, though, about with this 2 down, whether or not the mentality of the batters coming up says, you know what, we've got 2 out, we could be here to bat now. So, like, whether it just changes the whole focus.
Like, I'm going to make a comparison to Rocket League, which is a esport game, something completely different, but the game doesn't end until the ball hits the ground. So if you can keep it elevated, it's kind of like car soccer. If you keep it elevated, it keeps going. And so many times I've seen situations where the team will change its style completely at that 0 seconds to keep it elevated, and that's when they'll get their goals. And that's when they'll find the way to get the points. Mentality changes when pressure is on, and sometimes that's the sort of mindset that can get you over the line, I found. We'll see. At the moment, at the plate, though, it is still Michael Finks to ground it out. Their first at bat. Now with a runner on. We'll see. Cheeky throw to first base, trying to find the pick. I was actually kind of looking at the stance right there from Lutherand, and almost set up like a sprinter right there with the foot forward, lined up, ready to go. Is that frequent?
Preferred thing, because remember they can't leave until the ball's released. So the thing is that you can take that first stride from the back foot, he's still actually in contact with the base. So he's started to gather a bit of forward momentum without actually having left the base. So the time is critical, because if he leaves before, obviously he'd be caught out for leaving base early. And particularly with the arms of some of the catches, you've got to be right on your money stealing.
Has a peek. That said, that's going to be strikeout number 2 right now for Hathaway. Very strong showing on the mound right now. This is good stuff. Obviously gave up the single, but definitely a needed change, I would say, for the Redcliffe side. As we are going to now, Joshua Maddock will step up to the plate. Last time, ground out. This time it's going to be a steal attempt. Ball gets away, and runner will opt to stay at second. Not going to try their luck for third. A good steal, however, for Lutherand.
You generally find that if they've gone down on a slide there, that by the time they recover, they're a bit unsure where the ball is. So if it had been a pop-up and he was standing, then he might have wanted to advance.
So another reason why maybe baseball didn't work out for me, I always cringe a bit when anyone slides without gloves. That was a head first slide. Well, we have a shot off the ankle right there. No ankle guard either. He'll be right. It looks like Maddock will stay in play. But yeah, I'm sure, that's one of the things, no, toughen up, handle it.
I
I,
don't see too many guys front slide. They normally slide with their legs because of that reason. There's a good way to get a foot on your fingers or something like that.
yeah, like that. It looked painful to me, and I'm still watching him kind of brush his hand on his face. I can't imagine that felt good. And again, early in the tournament as well, you're going to be playing games all weekend long. You don't want to hurt yourself straight away. Yes. Oop. Defensive bad swing and a miss. Run to the plate is that one comes off. No interference call, so that is going to count, and that's going to be another point across for Toowoomba. So that was heads up play, getting on base. Second time today we've actually seen a KE2.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things there where you see the ball get away, the fielder taking the orange base there to retrieve the ball, and the runner doing the right thing went through the white base, and the throw just wasn't quite on the money, and it's sort of an incidental contact. Everybody was doing what they're meant to do.
Yep.
You could hardly call an interference or an obstruction in that one. It was just one of those things.
Yep. So good no call.
Yeah.
Good no call. There you go. As we're going to see more pitches across the plate. And, I mean, obviously Toowoomba's going to be happy with that. Keeps the inning going.
The
And
other key that we work on, I don't think we saw either coach get too upset about what was going on out there. They'd
True.
probably be testing the umpires if they thought it was something they could get something out of.
that's going to be swing wide, and that will allow a runner to advance. Cheeky play from Daniel Box right there. Thinking maybe we could do it again. But I do need to bring up, that's another run scored on 2 outs.
Yeah,
All 7 of Toowoomba's points have been on 2 outs.
Yeah, there could be another one coming in here too. The runner's in scoring position.
It has got to be a frustrating game for the Redcliffe side if this trend does continue. Pitch. Ooh. That looks straight
Get
through.
another run in with those go.
Now that was a fast pitch, and that will end the inning right there. So run scored, but more importantly, I think for Redcliffe, 3 strikeouts for Hathaway throughout that inning. So even though they gave up 1, still an improvement.
That's the way I look at it, though, they talk about in the football codes is it's a red time. That last 5 minutes of the period, there you go. That's when you need to be the sharpest. We're getting to 2 out, and we're leaking runs. So
Yeah.
that'll be a big focus.
Yeah, I feel it should be. And actually, even Redcliffe's 1 run. So that is all 8 of the runs scored this game have been off 2 outs, which is something.
If the coaches aren't pulling their hair out, it won't be long.
Yeah, exactly. It does look like Michael Finks will be going back out as well to finish off the
Now?
3rd
7-1.
inning. Yeah, 7-1.
And this is the top of.
This would be I believe actually the bottom of the 3rd. Or no, you're right. It would be the Redcliffe at bat. Sorry, so it would be the top of the 4th. Top of the 4th. So look, it could be well within reach as Brendan Tapani will come up. We mentioned before a KE2. How he got on base before.
He could hit a ball, I think.
I mean, I imagine so.
He's a bloody tree trunk for arms, so if he gets onto one.
Yeah, I was. And especially with the velocity, too, that we're seeing out of Finks as well. Would be a nice way to start this inning. Taking their time. Whew. Having a little look, ball gets underneath him there, and that's going to be another strike. So I imagine in this division, too, like there would be some power hitters, I'd say, who just all they want to do is get up and hit home runs.
Yeah, and then a lot of times you see the pitchers who pitch around those guys because they identify them pretty quickly, so they can't throw a mistake down the middle and the ball will disappear pretty quickly.
Yeah, that would be. Again, this is just Div 1. I imagine is where you get more flexibility from the batters as well, where they could be that contact guy or that power guy, but. Yeah, this one it does look like we're looking for the fence. A second strike.
Speed pitch, that one was handy because he was through the pitch before it got there.
Yeah, and getting him a bit off balance right now. This could be key moment. 2 strikes, 2 balls. So still have an extra pitch possibly to work with, and that one gets chased. A little bit of a hopper to second base will be collected up. Good bit of fielding right there. That was Cody Lutheran, and that's going to be a ground out. And once again, Redcliffe, I mean, we're a little bit later in the lineup. We got Sam Linus now up to the plate, and most impressive beard, I think, on the field right now.
There's a lot of competition out there.
That's true, but even if there was, I don't know. It's a hard one to beat. Did walk last time at Baton, so hopefully they'll be able to get themselves on base once again. But again, with the way Finks has been pitching, it is no easy task. That one's going to be high for a ball. Giving it no 2 count. Good eyes on Linus, actually. It feels like he's maybe a bit of a trickier out.
In the box, I think he's not going to swing at anything that's sort of marginal. He's just waiting for the right pitch. And
Well, it's not going to be that one. Another ball.
he's thinking he's got another walk tied up here.
So I guess my next follow-up question in this regards, though, I imagine there are some of the people, especially maybe in Div 2, who have been playing softball for a very long time, like years upon years, I would imagine.
This is probably the biggest spread because we've got guys who are just fresh out of 18s and whatever, but we've also got guys who played Masters, so you've got a lot of experience versus youth and different skill levels, but yeah, they still all play like it's there's a lot to play for, so it's interesting to see how their minds work out there, whether the youthful exuberance can beat the experience. That's the thing.
Well, we will see at the moment. Well, that was a good little walk right there, so Sam gets on base. Now Shane O'Connor will step up. This is going to be a key moment for Shane. Getting themselves nice and dug in that box right there, showing bunt, and is going to find it
Safe hit.
as, whew, barely got him. Shane's got some speed. However, throw was there, so a good effort from the catcher. That is Thomas Howard able to get that one thrown out. And with that, it will be runner advancing to second at least. Oh, they're calling it foul.
He called it foul, but he's questioning where the ball goes, but he won't get any joy out of this because it's a judgment call on the umpire.
So that just would have been ball bounced in the box before it came out, or?
No, he's saying with the first touch it was over foul territory rather than in fair territory.
Okay, so play on, runner back to first, and unfortunately, a little bit from Redcliffe. I mean, Shane's now showed off his speed. That was a fast bit of base running right there. But now they're going to be a bit more wary of the bunt, and I think Shane now is going to be a bit more willing to swing the bat. I mean, it would be a power play to go right back to the bunt after you show it.
Toowoomba obviously frustrated because they made the out at first. They would have made the out at first base. And
Yeah, but then we're putting him in the 2-out situation, which means that runner on second probably was going to score the next at bat, right? Here we go. Atmosphere kind of heating up right now. Both sides kind of feeling like this could be a pretty big at bat. Oh, so that one's going to get high and away from the catcher again. Runner advances, so Sam will move to second base. And now, with the runner in scoring position, O'Connor's got a chance here as we get things lined up. So that was the first little conversation we had between a player and an umpire. Obviously, respect should be shown, as it should be, but things I can imagine get a bit heated, especially as the sun gets hotter and the games can play on.
I think a lot of it's got to do with the position of the game. We understand that as coaches, they've got a role out there, or players, particularly in the men's, where they're passionate about their play and they don't like to see calls necessarily go against them. But as I said, they are allowed to question calls. Yep. It's just that there's that line that they're not allowed to cross.
Oh, sorry to cut you off, but it's a big hit for Shane O'Connor. It's going to be deep fielded and will be collected. Of course, the runner will touch up and advance to third base. So almost able to get that one out right there. Unfortunately, will be sort of caught out in right field. And now 2 outs. Runner on third. I believe we're seeing our first pinch hitter, actually. That's going to be Troy Ross stepping up to the plate for the first time today. So big moment for Troy Ross right now, coming in off the bench. Runner in scoring position, and this is a must-score situation as well for Redcliffe. Question asking, though, like, obviously, you know, umpires are kind of trained to handle, I suppose, that sort of confrontation and the likes, but how much mental fortitude does that take when you know, coaches and players do get
I'd like to think that the umpires who are umpiring this standard competition, they're not new umpires. They're people who've been around for a while. They've developed some skills of resilience and also just how to de-escalate, particularly if there's a situation which is pretty tense. So the thing is about remaining calm and being approachable and showing mutual respect.
Oh, blooper finds his way to shortstop. Throw is there, but the runner is going to be called safe. So the bloop shot in between second and the mound actually gets him across. So that's going to be a single. That's going to be an RBI. Redcliffe, again with the 2-out hitting, gets one across, making this a 7-2 game. A bit of a fun one there as coming up to the plate right now.
That one straight over the pitcher.
It is a bit of a roughie. So that's going to bring up now number 73, Dylan Holmes, coming back out. Walked last time on the plate. Also has a strikeout to their name. Looking for their first base hit. And again, the 2-out hitting. It's been consistent. Let's see if they can have it happen again. There's whoop. Ugh. Got attacked by a wasp right there. Love being out and amongst it too, you know, sitting. I can give away a position. We're sitting directly behind home plate right here, and I think, honestly, one of the best spots to watch a game like this.
Depending on, this is a great spot to observe what the plate umpire and the batter are doing, and you can see also the catcher's interaction with the batter, with the pitcher. But if you really want to get a true perspective, if you can sit up higher and you can see where the field's moving around and the rotations of the players and the umpires, you probably see a little bit more. As I said, we've got a good ground level position, but and we can see all of the infield, which is good. But we're not really getting a true look at the coverage of some of the other players.
Well, speaking of, like, I guess the coverage, I've been keeping my eyes a bit on the outfield, and we are going right to the fence line right now for this at-bat. And I've been noticing that's actually a lot of at-bats. That seems to be the case. Is that just something softball-related or respecting the power hitters?
Oh, no, I just think this standard here is that if they get onto it, the ball will travel to the fence. And as I said, I haven't seen a couple of autos, but yeah. It's a shorter distance than baseball, so it was probably set at 225 feet with a 6-foot fence out there. So certainly enough to put it over. It's going to take a reasonable hit. Well, a lot of wind around today, so it's not going to be wind assisted.
Well, that was another errant pitch, though, to see the runner advance to a scoring position, and that's the base hit they needed. Slot right to the outfield. It's going to be a double, in fact. Run will score. Redcliffe. 2-out rally off the double. Our first double of the game, surprisingly enough, right there from Dylan Holmes. There you go. And now, again, another meeting on the mound. 4th inning. I wonder how much longer Finks will be out there. I mean, no one's warming up right now, so you imagine you still haven't finished the inning.
Yeah, I'd say that they won't consider anything until at the end of this innings. They'll see how they go. And
Redcliffe still battling, as next up is going to be Mitchell Hathaway. Single in the first inning, struck out their last at-bat. A chance to cut this to a 3 or even possibly a 2-run game. First pitch has some pepper to it, though, and that's going to be strike 1. How much do you want to attack Mitchell Hathaway right now? Because this is, 3rd in the lineup, expected to be their best hitter. I mean, the game's starting to feel like, again, Redcliffe climbing back in it. Do you go for that big strikeout? That seems to be the case. 2 pitches, 2 strikes.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. You can hear.
Pitcher, it's a bit of bragging rights.
True. It's a bit of the statement as well. I mean, I'm hearing cries from the Toowoomba side. They want to see the smart pitching. I kind of want to see 3 up, 3 down, but that's going to be another one getting away from the catcher, so the runner advances to 3rd. Again, though, with the way how Finks is looking at this, kind of feels more like doesn't care where the runner is. He wants the K.
Yep. Yep.
There we go. 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch down. That one's going to be low and inside. Ball 2. So some time to work with. Very, very key at bat. Of course, up next after this one will be Aaron Dorix. The first pitcher we saw today from the Redcliffe side still has yet to get on base, but another kind of power hitter from what we've seen. Ball's going to be chipped foul. Still stays 2-2. I mean, it's the heart of the lineup right now for Redcliffe, and again, with the 2-out rallies that we've seen, yeah, you can't really take anything for granted right now in this game.
No, certainly they've shown their ability to score runs when they've got that 2 down. So it's a good lesson is that the game's not over until the last out.
As we see another one fouled away too. I have to go back to, I believe it was that first inning where no, it would have been the second inning where we saw the bases loaded against Finks, and he was able to get himself out of that jam as well. So, I mean, we've seen Finks rise to the pressure previously. This is a little bit different part of that lineup, however. Count still 2-2. Big pitch. Low, actually going to bounce off the ground, so a full count now. 2 outs.
He's certainly working a lot harder now, isn't he? He's not finding those strikes as easy as early in the game.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a toughie. Here we are. And that's going to be a swing and a low miss. Easy throw to first base. And, well, I mean, that was a rough one to swing on.
Yeah, I guess he was there. He was thinking, anything close I'm going to be going at. He wouldn't be standing at the plate.
Yeah, I mean, high pressure situation.
Good work by the catcher to gather it up, though, because it did hit the ground, and to get it and throw it up there before the batter runner, that was a good out.
Good out, critical out as well. So Toowoomba protecting a 4-run lead as they get themselves set to come back out to the plate. And I believe it could be the start of the lineup. Once again, I'll be curious to see if we're going to see any substitutes.
To see whether this is the last innings, because we've gone an hour and 15. And after an hour and 25, they don't start a new inning. So you might see if it's quick innings, Redcliffe get one more opportunity, and if that's the case, if they get in front, we've got to complete the innings.
Yep.
So
we'll see, but at that same token, if Toowoomba can try to make this inning last, they could.
So Redcliffe
end it here.
need to make 3 quick outs here, so they get the opportunity and obviously not concede runs.
Yep. Well, Hathaway last time, look, they did concede the 1 run, but at that same token, it was 3 strikeouts, which is about as fast as you can make it, and we are going right on back to the top of the batting lineup for Toowoomba. So the Cod brothers will be opening it up, Wade and then Lewis following that. Assuming we stick with it, it will be Ethan Robertson. And I mean, last time these 3 came up, all 3 got on base. It was walk, single, single. It's a tough ask for Redcliffe to get out this inning fast. We'll see what they're going to be able to do, but Wade Cod now stepping up in a key situation. So, anyways, I believe you have to go do some work here. Thank you so much for joining me, though. By the way,
thank you for the opportunity.
Awesome. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to talk again before the day is done. But greatly appreciated having you here. So now we are moving to a solo cast with Wade Cod, getting a bit of a blooper. Ball gets bobbled by the pitcher, but fast fielding, fast recovery. Safe is the call. Oh boy. Now that's going to get Toowoomba fired off. An infield single for Wade Cod to start off the bottom of the 4th. And again, it's kind of a time game right now for Toowoomba. Looking to hopefully take this one to the end. Lewis Cod now up to bat. Had the sacrifice bunt in the first inning, then it was single when we saw him last. Looking to see what they'll get this time, and it is no more substitutes. So Ethan Robertson is staying on deck, so it is no substitutes like we saw on the Redcliffe side. Runner still on first. Pitch is going to be blooped again. Double play potential. Nope, they'll hold it up. So an out at second base. There was a ground out to the shortstop. Easy play right there, one down. And I guess some solace for Redcliffe as this plays out is the fact that, hey, you know what, at least it's going fast. A little bit of patience on Toowoomba might, a long way. I want to see a little bit more of that plate discipline as we are now going to see Ethan Robertson now take to the bat. First pitch will be called a strike, getting the top left corner of the box. For Hathaway, does have 6 strikeouts already to his, has 3 strikeouts, I should say, to his name from that last inning. Another strike makes the count 2-0. Did have the single last time at bat. Ethan Robertson again, more of a designated hitter right now. We'll see if they can come through. As that ball is going to get away from the catcher, runner will advance to second. Has a peek, looking for third. Some wheels on Lewis Codd. Will settle down at second base. As the ball got away from him there, so back in the box. 1-2 count. Still a lot of pitches to play with right now for Hathaway, who really cannot afford to give up a base hit right now. And that's going to be a chopper, will bounce foul. So, again, ball staying infield once again. It's been a lot of infield hitting, actually, from the Toowoomba side. Outside of the home run from Gordon before, everything has been kind of just kept within the dirt. And just a lot of positional play and just a lot of fast players on Toowoomba. Really, the speed advantage has been doing them favors. That's going to be a swing and a miss for strike 3, however. 4th strikeout for Hathaway. 1st strikeout for Robertson. And this will bring Thomas Howard to the plate. Number 34. Ground out to second base last time up, but did get a single back at the start of the day. Kind of led the charge in terms of getting that 3-run shot. So we'll see what the catcher will be able to bring. 2-out hitting has been the theme of this opening game. That one's going to be low, however. Good eye found for another ball. Need their time lining this one up. Again, at this pace, Redcliffe still might get one more chance to bat, as that's going to be hit behind. Looked like that had a real chance right there. It was about, center height, maybe a little bit to the right, and unfortunately got a little bit above it. Here we go, though. 2 strikes on right now. That was a lower pitch for sure. It's going to be popped up. Call made, catch found. And that's going to be out number 3. So, good bit of pitching once again for Hathaway. First inning where Redcliffe has not given up a run defensively. And they needed a fast one. So, right now, eyes are going to be on. Is the call being made? Do we play one more inning? And it looks like that is going to be the case. So, we will at least hit the top of the 5th. It should be Aaron Dorox, Joseph Bryan, and Tony English up to bat for the Redcliffe side. As we do see Fink staying on the mound. Finks, of course, already has 6 strikeouts through 4 innings, a couple walks. I don't actually think he gave up a run. I think the runs have kind of come off errors, and there was that little bit of 2-out hitting, so that's not entirely true, but definitely has been a rough one in the field for the Toowoomba side. Now a chance to close out this game as umps are going to have a quick little meeting. See how they play this one out, and what is the call going to be? Having a bit of a discussion. Getting ready to go. So, unless we're seeing a pinch hitter again, which last time worked out for Redcliffe actually. Troy Ross came out as the pinch hitter, was able to get himself a timely single. Aaron Dorix has had a bit of a roughie. Couple ground balls to the right side. in the infield. So it's ground ball to first and a ground ball to second. He is going to come out, though, to lead off the 5th inning. And what is going to be a pressure situation again. He's pitched. He's played shortstop. Only thing he hasn't done yet is get on base. So we'll see if that's going to change. Also, it looks like he's wearing another player's helmet. See, number 99. Fair enough. All right. Hey, Aaron Chance going out. Definitely a vocal bench for the Redcliffe side. As that first pitch, fast one. A little bit of rise towards the tail end, but stays in the strike zone for strike number 1. Redcliffe knows this is the moment. That pitch is going to be low and inside. Called a ball, 1-1 count. I feel like, if they can get themselves to Brendan Tapini and Sam Linus, that's where the power from Redcliffe seems to come from. They can get themselves to the lower end of the lineup. They definitely have the big bats to maybe equalize this game. We'll see if we can get down there, though, but that's a few batters away. On deck is Joseph Bryan, who did walk last time up. Big pitch. And that's going to be hopper foul. Got above it. I mean, definitely feels like Finks likes to attack low on the plate right now. And it's gotten a lot of batters to chase down there, but it has caused some fielding errors in the past. And it's been a rough game for the catcher right now, for sure, for Howard. A lot of these low ones. But you can see with pitches like that, when he's able to hit his marks, very, very tough to get underneath and drive in, especially for a team like Redcliffe, who it really feels like they like to go for the big swings, and that was just a bit of a half-hearted swing right there. Dorik's a little frustrated with himself. How can you not be? Opening at bat, strikeout number 7 for Pfingst. And 2 outs away from a Toowoomba victory here. As coming up to the plate will be Joseph Bryan, the center fielder. Single first time up. Walk last time. He's gone on base 2 out of 2 times, so been a consistent part of the lineup for Redcliffe. Going to be one of the tougher outs, I feel like. Of course, up next on deck right now is Tony English. So we wait to see that pitch. Oh, yeah, it's going to be called a strike, catching very much, I'd say, just the edge of the inside of the plate right there. Big play. See how this pitch comes through, and that's going to be chipped. Knocked foul for the second strike. And this is, I mean, again, with Finks, a bit of a prospect player right now. A lot of eyes will be on their performance throughout this tournament. To come through late in this one would be pretty big. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Count. That one floated on him. It's going to be hit deep into left. Ball will be scooped up and caught. Well done right there. I believe that was Wade Codd, I should say, finding that. So Joseph Bryan, first time he's been taken out. Again, it was good, solid contact. And now it comes down to this. Tony English struck out early in the game. Last time at place, ground out to the first baseman. This time, whoa, bit of a check swing right there. Looks like he went over, so strike 1. English now. Oof, another riser right there. Just trying to, looks like trying to get Tony English to back off the play. That one was high and inside. Those are a high inside riser. Definitely a scary thing to face, but 2 outs down. Anything you can get into the batter's mental. That pitch again. That one drops low. It's going to be a ground ball to second base, and that will do it. Out number 3. And I believe based on the timings of this game, that will call it. So Toowoomba, excellent pitching coming out of Michael Pfingst, and a 3-run shot back in the first. Realistically was all they needed. It was the follow-up in the second, though, that put them ahead. Story of the game, though, 2 out hitting. Both sides found their rallies, 2 in the hole. However, it was Toowoomba with the hot start, hot pitching, that will get themselves the win. So well done to the Toowoomba side. Very, very strong performance out of them. And key moment, I'd have to say Callan Gordon's midfield shot as they were able to get that 3-1 home run back in the first. So that's going to do it for our first game here today. We'll be going on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have a second game for you here in Division 2. It's going to be Toowoomba once again taking the field when we return.